Hi, I'm Sam Lloyd. I'm the Mini Franchise Director for Lloyd Motor Group. So essentially I look after our 6 mini sites around the north of England. I just want to say a huge thank you to Michelle for managing to get this event on in very trying times. A lot of ingenuity and a bit of bloody mindedness from her, I think, is probably the best way of describing it. I hope everyone's come through these very uncertain times largely unscathed. It's been tough for everyone, tougher for some than others, I'm sure, but I genuinely believe that as a business, as my business, and as a wider community, we can definitely come out of it stronger if we lean into the things we've learned over the last 6 or 7 months. All I'm going to talk about today is what we've learned as a motor group, and what I think Carlisle might be able to learn from off the back of this very strange last 12 months, and how we can come out of it stronger, based on what some industry insights have told us, and what we've physically learned ourselves, and how we feel like we can lean into our competitive advantage that we've had for the last 40 years, but also embrace change at the same time. I think it's key, and we all need to do it. I was lucky enough at the start of this week actually to speak to a guy called Nick King from Auto Trader. He's the CEO of Insights for Auto Trader. So it's all market research, all about customer behaviour, so on and so forth. And he gave us an hour of his time, and the things that Auto Trader have learned over the last year have been absolutely unbelievable, and really tell us how we need to adapt going forward. I think they've had 3 key findings in over the last 7 months. The first one's a lovely soundbite, but they genuinely think customer behaviour has moved forward 7 years in the last 7 months. Just off, if you think about Zoom meetings, we're all on now. Everything's virtual. Customers are much happier doing things over the phone as opposed to coming and touching and feeling things. Their second big finding, that's very industry specific to us, is that before lockdown, only 25% of people would happily buy a car entirely online. Now that number's up to 60–70%. That doesn't mean people will do everything without speaking to someone, but they'll certainly leave a deposit, happily get a finance quote, so on and so forth, whereas usually they'd want to come in, sit with someone, see the whites of their eyes, and gain a bit more trust that way. And I think the third key finding that they had was that it's not just about online, and we really need to do both. So they call it bricks and clicks. So do you have a good showroom, and do you have a good online presence? So the showroom's there to build trust and show people that you've been there for a while, and you're not just going to run off with their money, I suppose. But then how do we make it really easy for them to buy a car online? So I suppose the best example of bricks and clicks is a very new company called Cazoo. You've probably seen them everywhere. They're advertising very heavily. They didn't exist in 2018, and they've just had a market valuation of £5 billion. To contextualise that, that's probably about as much as the next 40 biggest car companies in the UK put together. And that all comes from them having this brilliant online platform when you can seamlessly buy your car online. They'll take you through a finance example, they'll give you a part exchange valuation, and they will drop a car off on your driveway with a full 14-day guarantee of your money back, which is absolutely fantastic. But even they believe in having showroom space. They bought 19 sites around the country in Imperial Car Group. They've just bought a site up the road to have handover centres, because customers, they appreciate, once we get back to normal, customers, for one, won't want cars always dropped off on their drive. They'll want a good handover process. They'll want things to be more thorough. It builds more trust. And also from Cazoo's point of view, it removes a lot of the snash that you get when you just drop cars on customers' driveways. They'll call you back and say there was a scuff on the alloy that they didn't expect. Whereas if you have a physical forecourt that you can talk all through those things on, it removes the aftermarket problems that people often have with bespoke drop it off on your driveway solutions. I think just picking up on what Auto Trader have found, I think we'll all find reflections of that in our own buying habits. I know my buying habits personally have changed massively in the last year. I literally, apart from a supermarket for food, I haven't bought a single thing from a shop. So whether that's clothes, or I've been using online butcher a lot. I've furnished my entire flat online, and I think we'll have all found things like that, and it becomes much more natural for us. And I think the key to all of those those things are just ease of the process and trusting who you're buying off. If I just touch on the butcher that I've been using, he's a very good customer at our Ripon branch, the guy that owns it, and they're an entirely online butcher now. And the website's fantastic. 3 clicks and you've bought whatever you want. I trust him because he's a good customer, and it arrives exactly when you want it to arrive. So, and that's the key to the whole process. Make it very, very easy for the customer, and make sure that, you know, if anything goes wrong, they trust you enough to put it right. And I think that in turn leads very much into our business, our competitive advantage for years. And we're no experts, by the way. We make mistakes like everybody does, but we still think we're pretty good at customer service. You can speak to us face to face, and I think the key with us is we like customers to feel like they can pick up a phone to us if anything does go wrong. And the big challenge for us over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years is keeping that competitive advantage at the same time as adapting to the new way of doing things, so much more web activities and so on and so forth. And we've made a lot of decisions over the last 6 months to start embracing that. So we're doing a lot more virtual appointments, so Zoom appointments, so you can put a face to a name, and not everything's done over the phone. We're doing full personalised videos on cars, so you ask as many questions as you want about a car. We'll try and do a full walk around video for you, answering all those questions, so you feel like you've seen the car as much as you possibly can without ever entering the showroom. But is that going far enough? We don't think it is. We think that's a great start, but over the next 6 months, we're going to go further again. We're completely changing our website so that there'll be a full buying process possible without ever entering the showroom. So you can get your finance quote online. We'll give you a part exchange valuation online. And it'll be completely seamless, and just try to make the process as easy as we can for the customer, whilst also maintaining, hopefully, our family business feel where you can still pick up the phone to us, and keep the trust going. We're hoping to get some technology so we can do virtual test drives. So it'll be like a small camera in the back of a car, so you literally feel like you're sat in the back of the car while a sales exec drives the car. That'll all be filmed and sent directly to you, so you get as much of a feel as you possibly can without ever entering the showroom. We still hope that, you know, when things get fully back to normal, customers come back to the showroom like they always did, and with the price of a car, I think that'll always be the case. But we do expect that more and more over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that people will want to do more and more in the comfort of their own home, and probably only leave the final buying bit. That'll be the only time they ever come to the showroom, when they bring their debit card and finally purchase the car. Everything else will have done before that. Will be done before that, before they've even stepped foot in any of our showrooms. I think in culmination, if we think about everything I've spoken about and all the experiences we've all had over the last year, every company in Carlisle's got to make small changes. Every company in the world's probably got to make small changes. I was talking to someone from Northcote Manor, a really good restaurant down in Lancashire, and they've been doing 400 takeaway meals a week at the moment. They think they can actually knock a few bits of the business on the head that they've been doing really well, but they're just too much hassle, as it were. If they can keep half of those online orders and then still have the restaurant full on a weekend like they always have, they'll be a much better business in 2 years' time than they were 2 years ago. And we've all got to take those little things, try and do what we've always done really, really well, and then adapt slightly and do things that we can do better going forward. And that'll be the big message that everyone's got to take out of this. As unfortunate as the last year has been, we've all got to try and get through it a bit stronger. And I think we all can. And I think buying local and trusting people and making everything easy for people just is the key to all of it. That's what we'll be trying to do. We won't get it perfect, but we'll do as best we can. And that side, good luck to everyone, and thank you for listening today. See you all soon, hopefully.